Hey everyone, Cindy here with Create Your Own Luck and Love. Hey, I hope everyone's having an amazing Monday. It's Monday, it's Love Week, and I am excited for you guys to join me, but I'm not seeing too many people on. Hopefully you guys will just start popping in and joining me very soon. Couple things that came up I really want to talk about. I know you probably have, if you haven't already seen the interview or the conversation that I had with Denise Dominguez. We really talked a great deal about the self-care thing and some of the things that as women we can do to create a deeper sense of that. You know, like I have actually got myself some of these beautiful flowers, see? And look, it's red and white. Because I like to surround myself with things that are beautiful and receive those things. And as for you guys, if you do those things for yourself and you're acting even as if, act as if I am with my guy, I am with my partner, and actually doing some visualizations around that are really powerful and can hold the key for really bringing in that loving partnership. And I think I've touched a bit on this, but really honing in on, closing your eyes and taking a few deep breaths with me. We can do this together. And visualize a scene in your mind, a scene where it's just like the most amazing time ever. Maybe you're imagining a beautiful ski cabin or a tropical beach and you're walking along the ocean with your beloved and you're feeling how you're feeling when you're with them. How do you want to feel? Do you want to have laughter? Are you speaking seriously? What is it that you're feeling? And continue to breathe into that and feel into that daily. It's like a little feelingization. Imagine your feet in the water and the most beautiful scene you can even imagine. Receive that. Bring it towards you and know that that is possible for you. And then let it go. Let it go. And just feel into that scene. And know that, these are some things and tools that we can use to bring in and receive loving energy and receive it from others as well as give it out. I think I brought that up a little bit yesterday. And as women, when we do these things regularly and we're doing the things to take care of ourselves, it shows, and that energy comes from other directions. You start to see and receive. You start to see people looking at you differently because you're showing up differently. And, I think a lot of times, and this isn't something that's talked about a whole lot in my field. Well, it is and it isn't. And I'm just going to shoot it really straight with you guys because that's who I am. If you know a little bit about me or you've spoken with me, I do like to be straight and I like to tell you guys how it is. I mean, yes, I love to envision. I love esoteric. I love romance. I love it all. It's part of the reason why I do what I do. But one of the things that is very, very common for women is that we give up our power too easily to men. We give up our power too easily to men. And let me explain that to you. We have, and we don't always listen to them when they're communicating with us. It's a block that we have. It's kind of like, imagine this. If you have children out there, say I. Even if you don't, if you have pets, if you have anything, any form of person or animal that you've had to do some, I want to say, bargaining or communication with I'm trying to show these beautiful candles in the background. So, that you've had to do some communication with that may have been, and I don't want to say disciplinary, but directional, right? So let me give you an example. Like maybe, oh, hi, yes, you get it. You have kids. Oh, good. Okay. So even if you don't, you'll get this. So imagine that you've got to tell your child, look, I really can't have you staying out till 10 o'clock on a school night. Or it's important to me that you eat your vegetables so that you will be healthy and strong, right? Positive reinforcement. And, or, you know what? It's time to turn off the TV. I have to utilize this a lot. My son is really into Peppa the Pig and Mickey Mouse. So it's time to say goodnight to Peppa, or we say goodnight to Peppa in 5 minutes, right? And you do that, and because we need to take a bath and get ready for bed. Of course, I have a 3-year-old. You guys don't. But so, and our child may try to do everything to avoid the obvious, right, you guys? Sorry, I'm making a short story long. And what will happen is they might go, oh man, I don't want to stop what I'm doing because I don't want to go take a bath. I don't want to go to bed. I don't want to do the next thing, right? And the same goes for all of us as human beings, and women were famous for it. And men are too, when they don't want to hear what is being communicated. So when a man says something within a relationship of a woman, right? And maybe he says something that you don't want to hear, like, Susan, I care about you so deeply, and I'm just not in the space to have the kind of relationship that I believe that you want to have, and I think you deserve more. And instead of believing him, a lot of times as women will try to hang on. And for whatever reason, they're sharing that. Now, that may, and I don't want to go really into the ins and outs of why a man may say that. Well, actually, I will. A man may say that because he truly doesn't feel like he can make you happy. He doesn't feel like he's making you happy within the relationship. And if he doesn't feel like he can win, men are motivated by winning. They will give up. So hear me out on that. If he doesn't feel like he can win with you, he will give up. So there's something that's going on that's not making you happy, right? And maybe it's just a simple fact of maybe he's sending mixed messages, right? I talked a little bit about why men pull away or they ghost or they disappear or things like that. Maybe he's, kind of hot and cold. Well, the goal for you is to be a little bit more distant and not put yourself in a situation where when he's not committed to you, that you're compromising your values. Like, I don't sleep with people unless I'm in a committed relationship. End of story. And if there's not clarity around that, or the guy's hot and cold or going back and forth, or, not even certain about what he wants, and that can happen because everybody goes through different things. Women we could take it hard, right? We don't want to hear it. It's like, my kid doesn't want to hear that it's time to shut off Peppa the Pig and we got to do the next thing. And relationships, that's a good question. Well, that's kind of a long-winded response, but I will give you one around that. I'm going to tell you yes, and I'm going to tell you no. Okay? Because it just depends. But yes, it has happened for sure. And I'm going to help you guys with what question was just proposed to me. So when that transpires, and a lot of times men will go hot and cold on you because of something that's happened within the relationship between you two. So you've got to hear me on that. Like I told you guys, I don't know, a couple of videos ago, we can turn perfectly great princes into frogs. Now, I don't want you to take too much responsibility around that because things can change. And maybe this person was meant to be a lesson in your life. But the thing is that as women, we're receivers, right? You guys, we don't need to chase them. Men will do the work, but a lot of times we don't, because we're so nurturing or we want to know right now, right? So Max might not want to stop watching Peppa the Pig. So he's like, stomping his feet on the ground. Thanks for the heart. And so what happens? So it's like, and men do this too. They act childish when they hear things they don't want to hear, or we set up a boundary and we can lean back. But we need to be, as women, always a little bit more distant than them in the relationship and in dating, especially in the dating process. It is a bit of a dance when it comes to relationship. And, so those things, and I understand everybody has their own specific things that have come up within partnerships. And, usually if it ends for a reason. And I think there's rare cases, and I mean fairly rare, that one should really return to that. Unless it was just, a simple case of bad timing or it was, but unless someone, and I actually had a podcast interview about this today, unless a man comes to you really having had like a coming to Jesus moment or made some changes, or you made some changes too, then you got to let him go, right? And you got to move forward. And if he's not committed, then you're out there dating. So great question. And I want to give you a really good response around that. Yeah, Kate, I do have clients so I was asked this question, do I have clients that have met the one they knew right away, or did it take time? I've had both happen. Usually what it is that, it's a one or twofold of a situation. A lot of times, she'll feel something like, gosh, there was something special about this guy. But then as a woman too, if you're doing and you're using my formula, you're dating, you're meeting different people. You may not be in a place where you've processed that this person is the one. And that's a good thing, because you just want to stay open to possibility until he commits. And you need to pace him around committing, because I've heard so many times when men have been like on the first or second date, well, I usually like to just see how it goes with one woman at a time. Hey, John, I completely understand that and respect your position. I'm just not ready to do that. This is an important area of my life, and I'm really looking to bring in a long-term partnership that hopefully will lead towards marriage. And I need to continue to take things slow, although I love the way that this is going and would love to continue to get to know you, and as well as get to know some other people in the process. So I've known some men that have felt like they knew right away, and usually the men that know right away is because the woman is so knowing who she is, what she wants in this area of her life, and how and she's not, and she sets up healthy boundaries. I talked to this woman, I don't know if I brought this up, but I just love this. And she had met this guy, and very similarly, he was ready to commit right away, and she was not. And he was like, all right. And men hate competition. So, at any rate, on their 5th or 6th date, I think he had asked her if he could make her dinner at his house. And she said, sure, that sounds lovely. In fact, I would love that. And just so we're clear, I'm not going to have sex with you, and I don't do that until I am in a committed relationship. Do you know how much more attractive that woman became to that man? Whew, she became off the charts, because a lot of women won't say that up front. Good question. I'll address that next. But yes, some people know, but I still really encourage to continue dating. I had a client recently. She, when we first started working together, within the first 30 days, she met, first of all, the men that she was meeting completely up-leveled, from men that weren't interested in commitment to men that were very commitment-minded. She met a really special guy, and then literally within, and they were a little bit long distance too, I think a few hours away, but they worked that out. At any rate, I made her continue to date other people, even though she was a little resistant around me, but she did it. And it was great, because this guy actually worked harder. And within 6 months, I may have even told you the story, Kate, they were engaged, and they are in an amazing, loving relationship. And now we're working on, overcoming communication obstacles and those, the things that come up, like what this series is about, are those emotional triggers that come up in relationship, right? So, online dating profile, should you put any deal breakers? Keep it positive. And I love that you asked that question, because that's a really big deal. You guys, the question was asked around, should I put any of my deal breakers in an online dating profile? Like, like, heck, I don't want a smoker, right? I don't want somebody that is, no hunters, right? Does anybody do that anymore? Maybe they do. It doesn't matter. I live in California, so California is pretty against that. At any rate, right. You know, you can talk about the positive things that you're seeking. You know, I'm seeking a partnership with with a man whom represents, is a humanitarian that cares about our environment, our, animals, plants, whatever, right? And brings to the relationship, a strong sense of self, knows who he is. We laugh together. I'm trying to give you some pointers on how to put it together. And you can get a pretty good sense with an online dating profile on exactly what he's, kind of who he is, right? You can get a really good idea. If he's got, a deer head on his wall, he's not your man. And no pun intended, but it's, you can kind of see, you can kind of read between the lines, with what a man writes. Now, some men don't write a lot on their online dating profile, and that can be challenging. Couple sites I recommend, Match.com has been really successful for a lot of my clients. Gosh, I should partner with them because I think I give them a lot of business. And I talked about this yesterday. I've known some, there are some people that go on OkCupid that have been really successful. One of my experts, Mike Goldstein, has really studied the algorithms on that site. So that stuff I find really fascinating. I have clients that are married from Tinder, now Bumble. I mean, you name it, guys. It's the sky's the limit. And I always just call it, that the initial, what we're looking for is what I call lead generation, right? You're looking for abundance and to meet a number of people, and we're only looking for one. But you do want to take your time to get to know people, because I can't tell you how many times I've seen, especially for women, that they'll be like, after the first time, I don't know. And then the second date, they are literally like, oh my goodness, I'm like head over heels. Or the third date, I'm head over heels. I don't want to say it head over heels, but after the third or even fourth meeting, just because women, we fall in love with our ears and men fall in love with their eyes. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that saying, but it's really true to give men a chance and walk through your resistance around it. And because they'll surprise you, and just be open to getting to know them as a friend, as a person, as, someone that is just amazing. And, what are they adding to your life? They're a great human being. You're a great human being. You two human beings have gotten together and you're getting to know each other as individuals, and having that higher level of thinking and awareness is going to attract your man even quicker. So I hope that's helpful, you guys. I'm going to be here again tomorrow, because I'm committed to bringing love to you, especially on Valentine's Day. I've got some really special treats for you this week, in particular. And I'm going to see if I can bring on actually someone that I know that's a really close friend of mine, and that I've helped her out as well in this area. And she is really great at creating close connections. Now, I can't promise you guys anything, but I think it might be fun to see if we can bring her on one of these. Would you guys like that? Can I get a thumbs up? And creating connections quicker and easier. So At any rate, I am sending you all lots of loves. I love the questions. Keep them coming. Also know that this is a private community, you guys. So this is just us. This is our small, size, or it's only us that's seeing this. So I want you guys to feel free to ask those questions and be vulnerable and tag me in a post. So if for some reason I don't see it, I'll see it if you tag me, and you just push, add people to the post, push Cindy Olin. Sorry, that's my son's dinosaur something or other. But anyway, I'm sending you guys hugs and loves, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow. And I'm really happy that you're all here today and that you're all committed to really creating your desired results in this area. And please let me know if you have any other questions, comments. I'm happy to help. Sending love. Bye, everyone.